This is precisely, of course, we know how important it was for India to get the Rafale fighter jets in its arsenal, and they have been, in fact, put to use most likely as far as this strike is concerned. As Shiv was talking about the important information that he has put out, ladies and gentlemen, let me very quickly tell you, Indian missile strikes, as Shiv was saying, likely from the Scalp cruise missiles and Hammer standoff smart bombs. Shiv, just explain to our viewers a little further, what are these weapons? How do they in fact react? Because, we have seen that these are very precise targets which have been, in fact, has been hit by Indian Air Force and the Indian Army.
These targets, Ankit, we've also got details. I'm going to tell you about the weapons that we're hearing have been used, but I quickly want to read out, of a confirmed confirmation list of the cities that have been struck and the targets that have been struck in these missile strikes as part of Operation Sindoor. Muridke, Bahawalpur, these are the two headquarters of the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed. At least 2 targets we're hearing from Muzaffarabad, Gulpur, Bhimber, Chakamru, Kotli, and a camp near the city of Sialkot. So remember, Sialkot and Muridke are in Pakistan, Ankit, and the remaining are in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Our sources are telling us, and once again, this is a disclaimer, that information coming in is unofficial at this time until we have a press conference from the Air Force or the Army, which will happen after sunrise today, and we'll be live on that. But it is very likely, sources indicating that this was an aerial strike, except, Ankit, that this time, unlike during the Balakot strikes, Indian Air Force fighters did not need to cross into POK. They stayed within Indian airspace and launched their weapons. It is very, very likely, the indications are very, very strong that India used its Rafale fighters to fire Scalp long-range cruise missiles, as well as standoff precision strike Hammer bombs. These are air-to-surface bombs to conduct these strikes. Now, which of these weapons struck which target, once again, would be getting into the realm of speculation at this point of time. But at this time, across those 9 places and targets that I've just described, there are videos coming in, open source videos by civilians on their mobile phones, flooding the internet. That's something that Pakistan simply cannot stop. There will be a great deal of information from their side, but the one thing they have no control over is a civilian population with access to the internet, cheap data, and a mobile phone, which is a speciality that we have here in our subcontinent. So many of those videos already going hugely viral all across social media. So Muridke and Bahawalpur are the 2 big ones, Ankit. The remaining ones are also big because of the terror infrastructure, but Muridke and Bahawalpur are basically the mothership of Pakistani terror, the Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Lashkar-e-Taiba.
When we speak about hitting Pakistan terror infrastructure right at its heart, as Shiv was telling us, Muridke and Bahawalpur are those 2 pain points that is going to, in fact, hit and dismantle at least the Pakistani terror infrastructure. These are the headquarters of the Pakistan perpetrated terror, not just against India, but whatever they export all across the globe. Vishnu Shom has more details as well. Vishnu, over to you. Go ahead.
Well, the little bit of information that we do have in this case, and I'm also able to pick up from my sources the use of weaponry. I have been told that the Scalp missile is something which was likely used by the Indian Air Force. Shiv, our sources also indicating that perhaps the Hammer was used. It's just in terms of the Scalp itself, it's a weapon system which was integrated with the Rafale aircraft upon delivery. Rafale fires this. It's an extremely precise, long-range cruise missile. It operates off GPS coordinates which are fed into the target. A variant of this missile has been used in the Ukraine war itself. It's used to hit targets with extreme precision. There have been a number of targets which have been hit. The target package is fairly substantial this time. The Hammer missile, also something which has been integrated certainly into the Rafale, but it's been tested on other aircraft, including the Tejas as well. It's something which can rely on GPS, global positioning system guidance, or it can be manually guided onto its target as well with a pilot in the loop. These are both designed to hit targets very, very accurately and to ensure that there is no collateral damage or minimal collateral damage that does take place. As Shiv was mentioning, and this is important, unlike in the case of the Balakot attack, where Indian fighter jets had to cross the line of control in order to attempt to strike the target. On this particular occasion, the weapon in question, the scalp, has the range to be lobbed or fired, from Indian territory, and then it proceeds and hits its target. So several terror attacks, as we've been reporting. Muridke, Bahawalpur are the big ones, which have always been known as terror centers of the Pakistani establishment. These two targets are in Muzaffarabad, Gulpur, Bhimber, Chakamru and Kotli also camped near Sialkot. These are the initial details that we have at this juncture. There are all sorts of reports and rumors coming in of the nature of the Pakistani counter-offensive. We aren't getting into that at this stage because we just don't know if it's true. Irrespective, the Pakistani Prime Minister has responded and he said that Pakistan is looking to sort of respond to this. And there have been statements which have been made by the Pakistani Foreign Minister as well, where they are saying that they've condemned the attack, etc., etc., that their sovereignty has been violated, and that several centers have been struck, and that they retain the right to hit targets. Pakistan also says that this is an act of aggression that's caused a grave threat to commercial air traffic. I can tell you that I spotted at least 5 to 6 flights over at Pakistan about an hour and a half back, and these aircraft were forced to divert as well. I think at this juncture, there are some reports which could be credible, which suggest that all of Pakistani airspace has been shut off for civilian airspace, for civilian flight movement.
Absolutely.
Ankit, that's what I have so far. Go ahead.
Thanks. As Vishnu was pointing out, I just want to, because, largely, as we have been speaking about, every information that will come from the Pakistani establishment will be rolled into a lot of propaganda. But one thing that the Pakistani Foreign Ministry statement does confirm, as we are breaking it here on NDTV, confirmed from our sources within the Indian government, and everything, ladies and gentlemen, every word that you are seeing on your screens, every word that we are putting out on air at this moment, all me and my colleagues, it has all been verified, fact-checked, and only then is being put out for your information. One thing is being clear as we were breaking it. Muridke has been hit. This has been confirmed now by the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement as well. Muridke, Bahawalpur, and Kotli and Muzaffarabad in Azad Kashmir, as Pakistan likes to call it, the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, have been hit by India. So we can confirm, Shiv, that the head of the terror snake, Bahawalpur, Muridke, have been hit. This is as deep as India has hit the terror infrastructure of Pakistan ever.
Bahawalpur and Muridke doesn't get bigger than that, Ankit. You're absolutely right. They are in many ways equivalent of hitting a large Pakistani military establishment, even though India has made it 100% clear that this was an act of restraint by India, given the scale of the butchery conducted by Pakistani terror groups. India has emphasized that this was non-escalatory. They have emphasized that Pakistani military establishments have not been hit. But I have to say that hitting Bahawalpur, the seminaries of Hafiz Muhammad Saeed and Maulana Masood Azhar, it doesn't get bigger than that in terms of high-value targets of the Pakistan military's extension and its terrorist divisions. Now, the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed are the two principal Pakistani terror groups that have bled India, targeted India, whether it is 2611, whether it is Pathankot, and most certainly in Pahalgam 2 weeks ago. Now, who has suffered damage precisely beyond just these faceless organizations, but the precise terrorists who've been targeted is not known just yet, and that's going to be, Ankit, a tantalizing detail. There's a lot of speculation right now over whether this was a targeted attack on a location where one of these high-value terrorist masterminds may have been there. I would be skeptical at this point of time about reporting or confirming any of that because there is no such information, to suggest that that may be the case, especially since post-Pahalgam, Pakistan's terrorist playbook would suggest that any high-value target would be removed from those cities like Bahawalpur and Muridke and shifted to much more officially protected areas like Rawalpindi, Karachi, Islamabad, etc. So we don't have a confirmation on that. It is possible that some high-value targets have been decimated and killed in these missile strikes, but we will await a confirmation on that. Here in Srinagar, Ankit, I can also sense a great deal of activity. We will not be reporting any operational details of aircraft in the air or drones in the air. I can see a lot of irresponsible reporting by many media talking about helicopter movements, etc. We won't be doing that here on NDTV. We'll be keeping a very close watch on authentic information as this Operation Sindoor unfolds.